Hello, everybody. Well, the topic today, rapture. Did I say it? Rapture? Did you get it? Rapture. Okay. I said the magic word. Did I get your attention? There's another high watch period coming on as we enter the month of June. Today, as I make this video, I'm remembering those that gave their lives on the Battle of D-Day. So that tells you when I'm recording this. But later on this month, we've got some high watch days that people are looking for. Now, I don't like picking dates because so many people have in the past and they've been wrong, and it tends to turn people off. Now, we're told that no one knows the day or the hour, and there's some controversy over whether that applies to the rapture or the second coming or both or not at all. So I don't even go there. The bottom line is we should be ready. We're told to be ready. So it doesn't matter what the day is. And our work doesn't change. As long as we're here as Christians, our work is to spread the gospel. We're to do that no matter what. We're to do that until our dying breath. And if the day comes that we're taken out of here, well, that's great because we're going to be in the presence of God. But that's not so great for those that are left behind, because the world is going to go through some very traumatic events. I just call them that. The book of Revelations are full of these events. Now, as a Christian, we are looking forward to Christ's return. The rest of the world doesn't really know what they're missing. And that's sad because they're going to have to pay the price. Pray for your friends, pray for your family that don't know Christ yet. There's still time. That's why we're here. But that time's going to run out. That we're not going to be here to guide. Now, after we're gone, the rules still apply as far as accepting Christ. You can still become a Christian during the, quote, tribulation time frame. Technically, only the second half is the Great Tribulation, but people have started calling it the tribulation time frame. It's the 70th day of Daniel. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's the church is gone. God is going to be dealing with everybody directly. He's going to bring up the nation of Israel again back into the forefront. And he's going to use his 144,000 to reach the world. That's what's ahead of us. So, as I've always said, if you like this video, click like. It helps YouTube to display it to others. If you want to hear more, subscribe, and of course, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified when I release a new video. And as always, I don't ask for your financial help, just your help in sharing and your prayers. Always use prayers. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, we are in the end times, and yes, I've said that in every one of my videos. That's the theme of the ministry here. If you want to be reminded of these things, join this channel. And there's plenty of us out there that are telling you about the end times. Some go into more detail than I do. Mine's a simple message: be ready. That's all it is. As in John the Baptist, be ready for the coming of the Lord. Well, he is coming. He's either coming in the skies for his faithful, or you're going to have to deal with the tribulation. But either way, you should be paying attention. Now, there's a couple of things to remind you of during these times while we wait. As I've said, you have to be ready. It's just like the story of the bride and the bridegroom, the Galilean bride. It's a case where the bride had to be ready because she didn't know when the bridegroom was coming back. It's a parallel that's great. It's in a movie, Before the Wrath. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. And I don't get any endorsement from them. It's a good movie. There's no way we're going to know the right day. We can't. Are we to be ready to go? Does that mean that we're to be packed, our bags packed and ready to go? We can't take it with us, so that would be useless. But we do have to be in the Word daily, sharing the Word daily, asking for God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Be prepared. for that coming. And don't be frightened by it. We're told that the dead will rise first, giving them the first chance to see God in the air, to see Christ in the air. But then we're going up next and we'll meet them in the skies. It's going to be a glorious event. And then we're going to go to heaven. We're going to be up where God is, where Jesus is, until he comes back down to earth. And that's also going to be glorious. It's that 7-year time frame in the middle that is the part that we need to help others prepare for. If we're already prepared, great. But others need to know about how to be prepared for it and help them. Bring them to Christ first, and then they don't have to worry about it. But at least plant the seed, because there will be a time where the world won't be able to deny God, and they will be looking for God. Plant the seed, and then they can take their escape at the appropriate time. Now, the second, spread the word to the lost as much as you can. We don't know when the day is. From the very beginning, Paul taught that it could be today. You know, like I said, I could predict it every day and be right once. But I've got better things to do. We're seeing all the signs come to place. A few years ago, Israel didn't exist. It exists now. Shortly, there's going to be all kinds of things. There's going to be a war happen. The countries involved, up until recently, were friends with Israel, but they've now turned and are now enemies of Israel. This northern war is going to happen. We don't know exactly when that is either, the Gog-Magog war. Maybe that's the one that the Antichrist comes in and stops after God does his bit and brings peace to the area. Of course, it's a false peace because it's the Antichrist. It's the peace of Satan, which is it's a lie from the beginning. But there will be peace. The temple will be rebuilt. There will be sacrifices. That means the Muslims have to agree to let the Jews build the temple. So they're going to need to have somebody who's a strong leader in the Muslim area too. We know he's going to be of Roman descent, but the Roman Empire stretched into the Middle East. The Antichrist, from what we're seeing in the way of signs, is probably alive today. Who is he? We don't know. We're not going to be able to figure it out. He can't show himself until the church is gone, because we would recognize him and we would ruin his game plan. So we know all these things are coming because they were predicted, they were prophesied in the Bible. Now, many people don't accept what's in there as far as prophecy. I've come to the conclusion that a lot of what's prophecy is for those to look back and go, gee, okay, God did really know what he was doing because he told us ahead of time. Very few occasions did people accept it, but those that do benefited from it. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. Pay attention. Don't have to focus on it and get worried about it because he didn't want us to worry. But Iran, or Persia, as was their original name, Persia's in the Bible. Iran has got to be fit to be tied right now. They've been sending their proxies out to create all these little mini wars and battles and staying out of the picture. But yet, they're having major problems. They've had a drone factory blown up, a refinery blown up. Something else recently was just blown up. I didn't get a chance to see what it was, but it just happened in the last day or so. They're being attacked. They had a ship, their biggest warship. Now, it wasn't a fighting ship. It was a cargo ship, but it was their biggest military ship, sank. All these things are happening, so they're not staying immune. At some point in time, they're going to decide the proxies aren't enough. We're going to have to step in. And that's coming. And it's coming very soon. And I think that the rapture happens before it. So that means the rapture is very soon. Again, the high watch period that we're in right now. This whole year has been a high watch period, but there were high watch periods over the holidays, over the Jewish feast days, unleavened bread, all these we've got coming up. We've got trumpets coming up this fall, but I don't think we're going to be here. That's my personal opinion. I don't have any biblical knowledge that can give you that. I just don't think we're going to be here because it's heating up, really heating up. Okay. The new leadership in Israel, I'm just going to talk about it very briefly. Netanyahu's 12-year reign is over. He did a lot of good. He was a very strong leader, but he did some things maybe that, didn't get along with some of the other people, allowing the Muslims to set up their property, the Gaza Strip or the West Bank, angered some. And it says that Israel is not supposed to give up their land. And so that's probably why the new group, the coalition, came in there. Now, the coalition couldn't come up against him directly. They're a conglomerate. There's even some Muslims in this coalition. Naftali Bennett is the first leader, if you will, the president. They have an interesting way of doing their government there. It's not like the United States or England or anybody else. They've got kind of a unique government. It's kind of a hodgepodge of everybody, some of the good and the bad. Let's see how he can reign. He's going to be tested. The Muslims always test. They always test. If they see weakness, they especially test. This whole Gaza thing that was on was a test to see how much they could do, how much they could handle. Iron Dome worked, but not 100%. They've got drones, some suicide drones, some that can carry missiles, some that can just be for surveillance. They've got a lot of technology now because there's a lot of money poured in. The United States mistakenly continues to pour money into the bad guys. Not good. The current administration is agreeing to give money to those that hate Israel. In their declarations of their charters, they hate Israel and want their destruction, yet we're giving them money from the United States. One of the reasons I believe that the United States will not be involved in anything going on in the end times. We are stepping away from God as a government, not as a people, although a lot of people are falling away, and that's also predicted. We are one nation under God. However, the devil has crept in. Be careful. Pray daily. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, if you're not a Christian, you can still know God. God has been waiting for you to make that decision. And even if your heart's not ready today, keep this in your heart. Remember all this stuff. Jesus came to save all of us. Jesus was a Jew. He first came for the Jews, for the chosen people, and they still are the chosen people. There is no replacement theology here. There is a short interim to allow other guests to come into the wedding ceremony, if you will. But Christ is still the Messiah, Yeshua. Okay, so he's not abandoning the Jews. Our church age, our Gentile age is almost over, and he's going to switch back and finish the 70-day calendar of Daniel. 69 days have been completed. There's still one more day. And we know from the interpretation that that day means 7 years. And that's a whole nother study. You can look that up if you want. And that 7-year period is going to be focused on Israel, on the Jews, and of course, the rest of the world is going to be brought into this, and they're not going to like it. But God's wrath in the second half is going to be poured out on all those that don't like it. So you can be saved today by just simply asking Christ into your heart, asking Jesus into your heart. And you can speak to him. And like I said, he's been waiting, and he's still waiting. Revelations 3:20, behold, I stand at the door and knock, and if anyone invite me in, I will come in and eat with him and he with me. He's waiting. He's not banging on the door. He's quietly knocking, and you can hear it. No matter how much you create noise, you can hear it. So if you want to know Jesus, repeat after me. Simple prayer. Jesus, I know that I'm a sinner. I repent of my sinful ways, meaning you turn away from them. And I ask you to come into my heart. I accept your free gift of salvation that you paid for with your blood on the cross. I want to be a Christian. I want to be born again. I want to be in your kingdom forever. I want eternal life. There's nothing you can do to earn your way to God, to heaven, other than to accept Jesus. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. He is the only way. All these other people that say you got to do this, you got to have Jesus and something else, they're wrong. Jesus warned of false prophets at this time because people are going to be looking to God. The only way to get to God is through Jesus. The only way to get Jesus is to accept his free gift. If you accepted Christ in your heart right now and you meant it, and God will know, I won't know. If you meant it, you're a Christian. And you will be removed before all the bad stuff happens. Get to know God, look into the Bible, find others to fellowship with because you need support systems. Everybody has a support system. AA has a support system, whatever it is. Weight Watchers has a support system. Christians have a support system. We all need support systems. Find it. And as you learn, share with your friends and family. You want to take somebody with you. That would be a privilege that we all look forward to. Okay, that's all I have for now. Until we meet in the skies, God bless.